The top stories on Nation News. Student leader laments delayed UWI bursaries. The seaweed invasion returns, and we go to church for Ash Wednesday. Welcome to Nation News for Wednesday, February the 18th, 2015.
No matter where you are in the world, at home or abroad, Nation News keeps you connected with what's happening in Barbados through our website, video newscast, and online e-papers. So stay connected with Nation News. Your news, your time, your way.
The president of the Guild of Students at UWI K-Phil, Damani Paris, isn't exactly thrilled with confirmation that $3 million in bursaries are being offered by the government this far into the school year. Mr. Paris told the media that while he was appreciative of the intervention, the funds would not benefit the neediest students for whom they were originally intended. He said that by all accounts, those students had been forced to suspend their studies. He could not say definitively how many of the 1,600 or so who applied for the bursaries had failed to register for this school year, but he said a similar number had dropped from the roll. The government is being told it needs to do more to solve its fiscal problems. The Caribbean Development Bank's Director of Economics, Dr. Justin Ram, says the authorities have taken some necessary steps, but the country's debt levels were still too high. Dr. Ram also expressed concern about the levels of unemployment in the Caribbean.
Over the course of the year, although there was an improvement in unemployment in some BMCs where data is available, unemployment remains stubbornly high within the region. The overall trend in Barbados and St. Lucia is a concern, and effort is required to reverse this trend. With over 1/4 of the labor force unemployed in St. Lucia, this poses a threat to future prosperity in that island. It's not all bad news, however, and the data suggests that the solution could be a regional one where we need to allow the movement of labor across borders.
The sargassum seaweed invasion returns. Pungent piles of the weed have turned up at East Coast beaches, including Bath and Skeets Bay. Industry workers continue to battle to clean up the gobs of brown seaweed. One German visitor told Nation News that it was not a nice sight. Sargassum are algae that grow in the Sargasso Sea, a large body of warm water in the mid-Atlantic. And fisherman Orville Knight said it was scaring away the flying fish.
Because you don't get no flying fish with it. If you get a clear spot that don't have no seaweed, it's possible you get a few flying fish. But all that, the seaweed will come here now over a year. Because we started about it last year, February. It wasn't thick, but it begins to come in. And we're still catching a few flying fishes. And then, as it gets thicker, the flying fish disappear. Some of the fellas are still catching a few dolphins. But sometimes you also got to they carry some tabbies. And the fellows had to get some tabbies so as to get the dolphin. Or sometimes we go out there, 30 or 40 flying fish. No more. Nothing at all.
Teacher training is the focus of the second phase of the government's Education Sector Enhancement Project, funded by the Inter-American Development Bank. The first part, which involves school location planning, was launched a few weeks ago. The new phase involves consultants from the University of New Brunswick in Canada working closely with local teacher trainers. Speaking during the launch, Education Minister Ronald Jones told the teachers they have to be lifelong learners.
The teacher must be a constant learner. It isn't that you go and you qualify at Earlston Teachers College or the University of the West Indies or some other institution that prepares you for the classroom. It prepares you for the classroom essentially for the moment that you are in the classroom. That's what it does. It doesn't prepare you ready for the future, because the future is essentially unknowable. But it gives you the kind of mental schema, intellect, ability that you can go through adaptability as you get to the future. Because you get to the future, you go through the present to get to the future, that you can make those adjustments in what you have to do.
Ash Wednesday marks the start of the Lenten period, and thousands of Barbadians, including school children, have been attending church services. At St. Patrick's Roman Catholic Cathedral, Monsignor Vincent Blackett called on the congregation to follow Jesus' example and fight temptation by turning to the Word of God.
To me, this is a very good time for us to begin to turn to the Word of God, to open up the Scriptures, pray the Scriptures, read the Scriptures. Let the Scriptures become part of your daily spiritual exercise. So those are the things that I believe could help us and strengthen us as we go through this vale of tears.
At St. Paul's Anglican Church, Canon Wayne Isaacs told the congregation to use the season to deepen their faith in God. Students of Vauxhall Primary School have made a donation to the HIV/AIDS Food Bank. The children were encouraged to contribute a minimum of $2 each to the cause, and they received some assistance with foodstuff from Armstrong Agencies Limited. HIV Program Manager in the Ministry of Health, Houston Innes, lauded the efforts of the school.
I think this was a great initiative from the Vauxhall Primary School. The Ministry of Education are always looking for avenues to spread the word of HIV and also to help the food bank drive. I think it's a good place to encourage the children to get involved in the process. It's simple, but it's something that they all can do. And when I saw the joy on the children's faces as they put down their coins, I don't think that they understood the magnitude of what they were doing in contributing to this worthwhile cause. I'm so happy that Vauxhall is on board. I know the other schools that are calling now, wanting to get on board as well, to find out what they can do to help, and this is a good thing. It means that the message is getting through from the Ministry of Education, and the schools are responding accordingly.
And finally, an Indian bride has married a guest at her wedding after her husband-to-be had a seizure and collapsed in front of guests. Reports said the groom, Jugal Kishore, was epileptic, and he had kept the information from the bride, Indira, and her family. While Mr. Kishore was taken to the hospital, the angry bride decided to switch husbands. She asked a member of her brother-in-law's family, who was a guest, to step in and marry her instead. He agreed. And that's Nation News for Wednesday. For more, log on to nationnews.com as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Remember to pick up your Daily Nation on Thursday or subscribe to our e-paper.